Should Republican voters cross over and vote in a Democrat primary just to cause a little disturbance among the Dems? Well, I'll talk about it. Hey, everybody, it's Chad Hasty, host of the Chad Hasty Show, which airs weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 a.m. KFYO. And this is your afternoon brief for Wednesday, February 12th. Valentine's Day is coming up. And don't forget, folks, you can pick up some fantastic Valentine's Day gifts, your flowers, all that kind of great, good stuff, chocolates at over at our good friends at United Supermarkets. And don't forget, for those guys out there who are looking for another gift, guess what? Robert Lance Jewelers, they can hook you up. All right, so here's my thought on this idea of Republicans crossing over and voting in a Democrat primary. I know that Rush Limbaugh talked years and years ago about Operation Chaos. This was when it was Hillary versus Barack Obama. President Trump has talked about this. In fact, President Trump, during his rally in New Hampshire, kind of smirked and talked about Republican voters causing havoc in the Democrat primary and voting for what would be the weakest candidate to go up against him. Then he mocked the Democrat candidates by saying, I guess they're all weak. How do you choose just one? Which is a great question, really. Who is the weakest to go against Donald Trump? Is it the socialist in Bernie Sanders? Is it Pete Buttigieg? Is it Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas? I mean, damn, which one of these candidates is the weakest? It's really hard to tell from week to week. Oh, yeah, Joe Biden, he's still running somehow, so he might be one of the weakest candidates. Listen, if you want to, flip over and vote in the Democrat primary, if your state allows that, and some of you not watching in Texas, you may have a closed primary where you're not able to do that. But if you're able to cross over, you want to have a little bit of fun. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh no, you should never do that. Have fun if you want to. Why not? If that's what you want to do, if that makes you happy, I say go ahead. But also don't forget about this. In many races across the state of Texas and in other states, you have some very important primaries that need to be decided. You look here in Lubbock County, we have a couple of Lubbock County commissioner races. And then again, you may not care who wins the Republican primary. You may not have a preferred opponent or a preferred candidate in those races, or you may be in a precinct where there is not a contested primary, so you may not feel compelled to vote in that primary. But don't forget, here in Lubbock, you've got Congressman Jody Arrington. He's on the ballot in a primary election. He's not facing a tough primary challenger. He'll most likely, unless something weird happens, he will win re-election. But there's still an election for Jody Arrington. There's still an election for a lot of these Republicans who are running. And don't forget about judicial candidates. Listen, and I know so many people, they either get bored or their eyes glaze over when we talk about judicial candidacies on the radio show. But don't forget, these judicial candidates, they're running real races, and they want you to take their campaigns seriously. So don't forget about those guys either. Listen, if you want to vote and do some type of Operation Chaos, to really screw around with the Democrats, hey, go ahead if you want to. Just remember to take a shower at night, okay? After you're done, you may have to get the hazmat crew out there. If you decide not to, that's great, because there are important Republican initiatives and candidates that you need to vote for. So yeah, I can see why people would want to. I can also see why you have a lot of Republicans who are saying, no, please continue to vote in the Republican primary. Myself, I'll be voting in the Republican primary coming up in Texas. I'm not going to switch over and vote in the Democrat primary. I'll be voting in the Republican primary because there are some important elections, including judicial races, that I want to have a say in, and hopefully you do as well. So it's up to you if you want to do that, but my preference is for Republicans. Go and vote in the Republican primary. Democrats, do whatever the hell you're going to be doing. And independents, those of you who are truly independent, I don't know. Pick one. Have fun. Tune in to the Chad Hasty Show weekday mornings, 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time. News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 AM KFYO. Have a great day.